This is a 2012 Mazda 3. It's got about 98,000 miles on it. It's time to replace the back struts. The strut itself is a Monroe Spectrum 5683. In the extension portion, there's actually a tab. We'll move this when we're ready to go. We'll jack the car up and remove the wheel. Wheels underneath for safety. These are about 100,000 miles in on these shocks. They're not currently leaking, but this strut has a lot of rust on it. This is sort of an on-condition maintenance, and different people do different things, but at the 100,000 mile point, I wanted to replace these. The strut bolts in from below. You can't quite see when you're looking straight at the wheel. This bolt holds the bottom of the strut in. That'll allow us to pretty easily remove it with a breaker bar and a 17mm socket. So we have our breaker bar attached to a 10-inch extender. But once this guy's out, you could pull the whole bolt out. It's pretty long, a lot of threads. We could check the condition and put Loctite on it. Once that's done, the bottom of the strut is free. By hand, I could actually compress it if I want. See, it's going up by hand. Next step's to remove the top bolts so that we could actually take the strut off. So with our 12mm deep socket, we'll take the top pieces off. Now we'll get the next one. The shock mount on the chassis is also coming out as well. This last way. And there goes the shock. For the next step, we have to do an interesting way of anti-rotating this top piece while we unscrew this piece with a 13mm. So I recommend the vice grips, but this wrench actually has a center box piece that we could use. So put our 13 down and put our holder here to hold the top and spin the bottom. There, it just didn't anti-rotate. Here it did anti-rotate. So it's good again for ratcheting box wrench. That would make the job easier, but it's perfectly doable with a regular box wrench too. That's all you got. So after several turns and anti-rotating, the nut could actually slide right off. And we'll save that for remounting the same bracket. But we've cleaned this up with a wire brush. It's just aluminum. So we're trying to get as much gunk off of that as we could. And now we could just slide the top off. Just slide the top off. And there's the old strut. And here's the top piece that we'll be reusing on the new strut. These Monroe struts actually come with a little toggle on the top. And that prevents the strut from extending just for shipping. So we'll pop that off. And the strut should start to extend. And that's working. So new strut's fully extended. And we'll take this old piece and slide the two together. Now that the top's come through, we can take our same little nut and put that back on. Screw it a couple turns by itself, and then repeat the procedure in reverse for anti-rotation. So here's a few free turns, and now we're going to have to start chucking it up again. And then we'll place it up and screw on the two 12mm nuts. Tighten them up. And we'll set torque on the torque wrench on both. We just cleaned up this long bolt with a wire brush, and we'll reapply a little bit of Loctite blue where the old Loctite blue was, and then we'll torque this back in the bottom. So right now we got our 17mm. This is the inboard side of the strut. It's a floating washer that goes up against the head of the bolt, and then the knuckle itself has the threads. And we'll keep torquing that until it's totally in. Shock's installed, we'll put the wheel back on, lower the car back down, and torque up the lug nuts. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.